Hello, Savannah. Hello, Savannah. Welcome to another edition of Kandily Kesha, your older woman's weekly update on all things that matter to Savannahans. I want to first welcome Juliana Gonzalez, a now Savannah of 6 years, but originally from the Ukraine. And I asked her to stop by tonight to talk to us about what's going on in the Ukraine and why it should matter to us here in Savannah. I ascribe to the notion that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we know that while these atrocities are happening far away from us, we know that by way of our heart, our spirits, the families and the individuals who are suffering as a result of the invasion, I like to call it an invasion as opposed to a war. Uh, and so I wanted to have Juliana join us today so that she can help us put a face to the human suffering that we see uh, on the nightly news, that we hear in the airways. But this is a fresh face right here in Savannah. I had the pleasure of meeting her and her sweet family at one of the prayer vigils. And your testimony and your account of the suffering that your family who is left there tugged at my heart. And so that's why I asked you to be here today. And so thank you for carving out some time to come and share. And I don't want to pepper you with questions. I just want you to speak from the heart. And ultimately, as we discussed, I want you, while some of us may be thinking it's so difficult to wrap our heads around how to help, why we should help, and when to help. I want you to frame a narrative in terms of how Savannahans can position themselves, in addition to prayer, some of the tangible ways we can provide assistance both to individuals who we may encounter here in Savannah as well as in the Ukraine. Juliana?
Uh, Good evening, Kesha. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to share my feelings and my situation with you and all Savannahans that are watching us right now. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Um, my name is Ulyana Gonzalez, and I'm Ukrainian American now. I arrived to Savannah 6 years ago as an intern to Historic Savannah Foundation as a PhD student studying historic preservation at that moment in Poland. I arrived here to do my internship and met my husband, as now is my soulmate and second part, got married and stayed here. Worked here, volunteered a lot for Historic Savannah Foundation, worked as interior designer, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom raising my small daughter, Bianca. My whole family remains in Ukraine. It's my mom, my dad, my grandparents, all my childhood friends, and all my childhood memories. And as of 1 month now, I live in this constant stress and devastation and panic mode, really, what to do, because it's like to imagine if you would go for a vacation to some island far from the United States with your family, with your kids and your husband, and then suddenly you wake up in the morning and you watch news and your homeland, your hometown, your friends turned out to be cut off from you for indefinite time. Now someone is bombing your city, your house, destroying everything that you got used to where you grew up, killing your friends, and that you see this live stream, them laying dead on the streets. It's really bizarre, and it's hard to live with that feeling, not knowing what's going on in this moment with them. I try to call my parents and make sure that they're still alive, and take screenshots of my phone just to, if it's the last time I see them, then I save that moment. It's very hard, but at the same time I feel powerful that I can help in some way, being far from them, from here, because they do need help, and by themselves, there in Ukraine, they won't be able to finish the task of survival and bringing independence to their motherland. They need help from the whole world now, and everyone is standing up for Ukraine and gathering around and helping as much as they can. Um, so after the war started, in the next couple of days, I didn't know what to do really. So I made this big poster saying "Pray for Ukraine," and I knew I need to go somewhere and meet people like-minded or talk to someone. What can we do to help? Because first couple of days it was just a nightmare. I thought I will wake up and everything is over, but nothing was changing, and the situation was going worse. And I just went to stood in front of the city hall with a poster "Pray for Ukraine" by myself for the first half an hour, and I just realized how hard it was to put the word out like that, even for the good cause. I was crying inside and waiting for the response from people, and I was so pleasantly surprised how many prayers and hugs and support I received that day. So I came home and I created this Facebook group just to gather people around me that live here close and would like to lend a hand to help in any way and stay connected with them. I call the group Savannah Supports Ukraine, and everyone who would like to join was welcome to do so. And I was surprised how many people from different countries that live here first reached out to me and proposed their help. People from Czech Republic, from Poland, from Moldova, from Latvia. So my family just increased that moment. Mm. And so far, our group is growing. We found many Ukrainian families and very active people that actively help us to create events, to get together, to put the word out as much as they can. And it was very heartwarming. And everything what Savannah does, in order to support us, we really appreciate it. At this time, I say we because it's not just me anymore. It's people that are gathering around and helping too. Uh, the ones that live here in the Savannah area.
And Juliana, when was the last time you heard from your parents?
We called with them. Well, for me it was my morning, and for them it was evening because we have a 8 hours time difference.
Hmm.
So it was maybe like 7 hours ago. It was calm in the city today, but sirens alarming about missile shooting are going on from time to time, and people are running to the bomb shelters or just simply hiding somewhere next to the posts and pillars in the house, on multiple story buildings, uh, trying to make sure that they might be more protected that way if anything happens. But I also have my second aunts that live in Mariupol. Mariupol is occupied by Russian soldiers for the past couple of weeks, and we unfortunately lost connection with them. We tried to reach out to them 2 weeks in a row. We found websites that are trying to find people that were lost during war, and so far we couldn't find them. So we are just hoping that they are not able to connect to internet, or maybe they lost their phones and they're somewhere in a safe place and alive.
And so the everyday life of Ukrainians have been interrupted. No one's
No
able
one,
to work or carry out their regular, uh,
yes,
normal activities.
yes, the jobs were canceled, uh, unless it's a necessary jobs for survival, like grocery stores are still working in the areas that are not occupied by the invaders. Logistics system is trucks are trying to deliver food or medicine in the areas that are still open for humanitarian aid help. Um, all the schools are closed, daycare, any type of entertainment or public gatherings. There is a curfew law in place. Um, and people, men that are younger than 60 years old cannot leave the country um, because they might be called to serve in military. Mm. My parents are staying at home and volunteering in the city for help because it's a lot of things that could be done by volunteers. Economic still needs to run, and people need to get food and medical supplies, get help in the hospitals. My dad is an architect, so he works for this defensive formation. It's voluntarily organized formation that is established by Ukrainian law, and they execute military operations when military is not in place. So around my city, there is no active shooting going on. So that's voluntarily formation of just the residents of the city. They're protecting the city in the meantime. They expanding the hospitals to receive more wounded people. They provide engineering network like gas, water, electricity for military that will be residing and establishing their presence in the city. So even though my dad is 59 years old and he's not military, but he is helping tangibly right now, working directly with military and defensive units in the city. And my mom is taking care of 90-year-old grandpa that is barely walking, so she will not be evacuating, and she will not leave my dad anyway. They will always stay together. And they're saying, someone is leaving, but someone has to stay to really protect the country and make sure that there is a country to come back to when hopefully the war is over. And my parents and their friends, many of them are staying to stand up for this aggression and help in a way that they can. Even to take care of wounded people, they're able to do so, if not actively to participate in the fightings.
So, as movement in the city has been restricted, we hear daily uh, people being attacked, people losing their lives, um, innocent people being attacked. Some would ask the question, why continue to fight? We know that the ultimate goal is for Russia to take control of Ukraine and fold them back into uh, their rule,
Mhm.
right? Um, what do you think is the goal? And why are the Ukrainians who are fighting, where are they drawing their strength and where does their hope come from? What is the ultimate goal, Juliana?
Um, I will be just talking from my heart. I know that Ukraine is gained independence a little more than 20 years ago, so it's relatively young and new country, and we are gaining and we are fighting for our independence and the place um, uh, on this planet. We people, Ukrainians have always fought for their independence and for their motherland. I know for sure they're not, or they, even if it will be one Ukrainian alive, he will still be fighting
Mm,
for their homes, for their families, for their lives. Russia is not coming with cakes and balloons or
mm,
flowers to us. They're stepping with a dirty boot. They're killing people. They're destroying the cities. So people are just fighting for survival. This is their place where they were born. They call it home. They have nowhere else to go. And even if they would go somewhere, I mean, to see how your everything that you loved and worked for and raised and even I cannot even imagine all the graves of our ancestors were destroyed. Like we are losing our who we are. I don't know then who we are if we just let it go like this, run away and look from a side how our homes are destroyed by someone. So I know many people in Ukraine that are able to do so. They will be fighting back, and they're very proud of the country where they were born and raised. and who they are, and they will stand up for that, and they will stay there till the last Ukrainian is alive. They want to be independent. They want to fight an aggressor back, and they understand that they're just the front line. Politicians in Russia are not going to stop there. They will go forward. So the Ukrainians are protecting basically the whole Europe now.
Hmm. And so, to that point of them not stopping there, we know that there are um, other countries that are not a part of not a part of NATO,
Hmm.
who could essentially be under the same threat. So it's the thought that once or if, uh, God forbid, Ukraine is occupied, acquired, uh, then they will go on to the next place, in the next place, in the next place. And so, with the fight and the demonstration of regard for your space and your place, I think you all are being a perfect example of letting Russia know we're not going down without a fight. We're not going down without a fight. Recognizing that your home means something to you.
Hmm.
And um, I want you to now share with us as we go forth, um, what is it that the people of Savannah can do? I know that through your efforts, we've had many activities to date to include the prayer vigil hosted by G100, the Dive, and the YMCA. You all just had an event yesterday at Forsyth Park.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Tell me about upcoming events and activities, and then ultimately, let's talk about how people can provide tangible support. Savannah has a huge faith community. We are a community filled with hundreds of nonprofit organizations and meaningful social and civic organizations, people who want to help. They just don't know how. Um, what do you have to say to that?
I would like to say first of all that at I'm very happy about it that right now Savannah supports Ukraine. It's not just me. There is a whole group of people and activists that are doing events and um, mm, helping uh, to spread the word out and organize prayers. It's church groups. It's Ukrainian families that are very actively involved, and they help to organize our presentation during the St. Patrick's Day parade and create an event yesterday in Forsyth Park. Church group from Blessed Sacred Catholic Church in Savannah is organizing um, a rosary pray for Ukraine this upcoming Saturday at noon in Daphne Park. So at this time, I'm like a mediator and a place to get people together in our group and share these local initiatives, um, and coordinate how we all can help each other. Even though we are far from Ukraine, but it turns out we can do something, as you said, tangible here.
Hmm.
And it's not just prayers, even though prayer is doing a miracle, really, and unites people. But during those prayers, we meet new people, we make new connections, and then later those people help us a lot. For example, 2.5 weeks ago, we got our first refugee coming to Savannah, and the lady, she's pregnant and she didn't know where to go and where to ask for medical help. And the church group helped her. They found people that drove her to medical center and made sure that it was all ready for her, and she's very thankful now.
Hmm.
So even this prayer become such a valuable and tangible help at this moment. Then we are taking care as much as we can from here, helping with the humanitarian aid supplies that is going to Ukraine. At this moment, we are working on finding logistics and setting up logistics, how we can not only to collect humanitarian aid here, but only also effectively transport it to Ukraine and people in need within the borders of Ukraine. Um, we recently we were helping Atlanta volunteers to receive here 15 tons, 2.5 trucks, more than 1,000
Mm.
boxes of humanitarian aid
Oh
here in
wow.
Savannah, and unload those boxes, sort through them and organize them if they were destroyed, box them, rebox them, and load them into the ship containers. And 2 containers left Savannah port last week, and it's on the way to Lithuania and then to Poland, and from there it will be delivered to Ukraine. So we were calling for volunteers. We needed hands to come and help us to do that, to coordinate in any way. If not carry boxes, then to give volunteers that are working water, or just stay there with us helping. Then we found a lady that collected medical supplies from Butcher Memorial Hospital, and we found volunteers that drove those supplies to big cities, to Charleston. And in Charleston, we found people that helped us to transport it to Ukraine. So we are looking at those local effective and ways and efforts to do something meaningful. Um, then even helping to refugees. At this moment, we don't have so many, and yet we still need to organize the ways where they can reside, where they can be fed, and where to get medical assistance, and even to find information. And volunteers from that belong to Savannah Supports Ukraine group are messaging me their finds, and I connect them with refugees, and that way we help. Sometimes refugees don't speak English, and we just need to be translators. Sometimes they need a ride to the hospital, and this beautiful souls volunteers help. um, this is one of the ways to help. Another thing is we are reaching out to our representatives and congressmen with petitions, with letters asking for help, bringing attention. We also ask people to join those letters, or to make calls. Mm, what else? When we gather together for rallies, the more people will come, the more support we'll get. We ask people to take a flag and hang it at your door, and show that way that Ukraine is over here in their hearts.
Hmm. How
Uh,
can we get flags, Juliana?
um, Well, of course, you can buy it somewhere on Amazon or Etsy,
Okay.
or make it yourself. Or I did just bought some paper from the local craft store and combined two colors, blue and yellow,
Hmm.
and make it visible that way. Um, it's it really, even little small things like this counts. And when the people see the flag, very often they approach me asking if I'm Ukrainian or I'm connected, and how can they help. And that way we bring more people and more connections and more help to each other, just by having this little touch somewhere visible. um, so
And
this is
you mentioned refugees, Juliana. Do you have any information related to how many Ukrainian citizens may be here in Savannah, or do we have knowledge of anyone who has fled to our area? I know some other areas of the United States, but what about Savannah?
As far as I know, at this moment, we have refugees that have a Ukrainian family over here. So those are, I may not know about those. I'm sure there's way more. Um,
Okay.
but the ones I know, only about one lady that contacted me. She had no one to go to.
Mm,
Basically, stopped at her friend's place and were looking for help, and she found us through social media, and that's
hmm.
why we started being connected. So at this moment, I don't see a big group of refugees going, but it's a good practice for us here to start small and to find a ways to help, so that if we have more people coming, we already set up a process how we can help them.
Right.
And
Be
process,
proactive and just be ready in that regard.
yes.
Well, um, Juliana, some people seem to think that a lot of this invasion that has turned into the war that we are seeing play out is a part of um, the connection and the rise of nationalism. And with that, we know that President Biden recently um, offered an utterance consistent with acknowledging that Putin essentially was unfit for office, should not be in office. And some view that as a threat, but others are a little miffed that there has been very little um, effort to show tangible action uh, when it comes to supporting the Ukraine. So, with that said, what are your thoughts there in terms of what some of the allies of the Ukraine, outside of our provision of um, weapons to help you fight? What are your thoughts there? Because we know that a lot of this become very political, right? We do recognize that there are so many moving parts and issues related to the dynamics of what our country has faced. We're just coming out of a pandemic. Um,
Mm.
I don't know if what Putin has done can be considered strategic in any way. But what are your thoughts in terms of how much aid you actually have received and how reluctant some of the allies are in terms of what they can do?
Uh, well, I have family in Ukraine. I have also very close friends. I lived in Poland for 6 years. I have close friends there, and my sister is one of the leads that help refugee movement in Amsterdam and Netherlands. And so far from these connections, I see that there is a lot of help coming to Ukraine from all over the world, from Europe, from United States, and especially from Poland, since Poland is like on the border, the closest country that receives the most amount of refugees, and
Mm-hmm.
they do so much. And I don't feel that I am in the right place to blame or to demand more. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very thankful, and I know my parents are very thankful for, and they see so much help so far. We all understand that, how to say it, world has many issues, and we are
Mm-hmm.
like one of them. We do understand that America helps us a lot, but America also has their own things to to do and to gain and to work on. So we are essentially just thankful for whatever we are having right now, and if anything coming up, we would be glad to get that too. But we don't want to demand or to blame someone for being reluctant or don't doing not enough. It's what in my power or what I've seen so far. It's, I know that refugees are getting so much help moving along Europe in on the Ukrainian borders, and so many good people are helping in governmental organizations as well. Um, I also understand that we don't want to create the situation that leads to the third war too. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary, and American European countries do not copy Russia in going against all the agreements. They want to stay on the lawful side and stay within the borders of law and move within the accepted like measures. Um, this is my position. I'm just thankful for what has been done so far, and we do appreciate if any more help would come our way to Ukraine.
Well, thank you for that account, and I appreciate your candid sharing and the time you have taken with us here tonight. And I, again, as I stated, I heard your cry, and I saw um, Bianca, your sweet little baby, wipe your tears, and that just really did something to me. And I'm one of those people who believe that paths don't cross by accident. And so, for whatever reason, God purpose for our paths to cross, I pray that it will be a part of healing and more hope um, for the Ukraine, your family, and that on the other side of this will be peace and love. And with that, just know that we are here to extend our platform in any way we can at any time. We're grateful for the efforts of ATR, All Things Relevant Media, and we are um, grateful for your voice. You are an incredible advocate, and you're so brave. You're so brave. Y'all, she's about this tall. And you have a lot of power in that tiny body of yours, and we want you to continue to be a force and be a voice for your people and continue to galvanize your family here in Savannah. You are Ukrainian Savannah. We baptize you as such, and we love you. We love you. We love your family, and we speak sweet blessings to you and yours, and may the peace of God be with you. Thank you so much, Juliana.
Thank you, Kisha.
We appreciate you. And if you want to come back later and put in the chat, this is going to be live on my Facebook page for some time, and you can share it to your page. And if you want to put any information related to joining Savannah Supports Ukraine or any other site, and we did talk about people exercising caution when it comes to donating to some of these organized sites where they are crowd raising or fundraising. We just want them to be sure. So it'll be a good idea to kind of pass things through you. You are the administrator of that Facebook page, and so people can reach out to you. Um, and we have lots of sentiments of support coming in through our chat here. So you may want to go and check that out as well. So we want to say thank you so much. And if you don't have anything else before you go,
Kisha, can I share in this chat our email address for Savannah Supports Ukraine group?
yes, yes. And go ahead and tell us what it is, and the producer may be able to put it in now. What is it?
It is ukraine.savannah@gmail.com.
Okay.
I
You want
just
to
to
repeat that again?
Ukraine period
Hmm.
Savannah@gmail.com.
Okay. And what were you about to say?
I was just about to say that when we talk about money donations, as you said, just stay cautious, be careful, do your own research. It's up to each. There are so many organizations right now, and I feel that they're popping up every day, new, that do different causes and donate to different place. And um, you I would say if you go on the internet and read about how to help Ukraine, stay on the side with a big, trusted, reputable organizations that have been working in this field for a while. The Ukrainian-Russian crisis was in place since 2014. So some organizations have been on the stage a long time, and they're transparent, and you can maybe trust them more than the other ones. So just be careful, do a little research, and donate wisely if you want to do so, so that those money that you send will be used in the most effective way, where they need to be on the first place. Since I believe that the biggest organizations that are led by the government may know what is the priority at this moment and will spend money wise. This is all what I would like to share with you.
Well, listen, Juliana, my platform is your platform. You are welcome to come back anytime. If there are any updates you want to provide, this space is yours to use for that purpose. And we will continue to share updates as well as they come to us. And as we go forth, as your Alderwoman at Large for the City of Savannah, just know that any municipal efforts that come our way that we can provide support to, I will be in full support of that as well. So,
Thank you very
with
much.
that, I want to say to you good night and kiss Bianca for me. And you guys have a great night. And I'm sure our paths will cross again. Oh, one more thing. Are there any upcoming rallies, visuals, or activities? Anything coming up?
So this upcoming Saturday, we will have a Rosary Pray for Ukraine in Daphne Park at noon. If
Okay.
anyone would like to join you, we would love to see you. And if you would like to stay in touch, you can email us at this Ukraine Savannah gmail.com, or just join Savannah Supports Ukraine group. And I try to make only relevant posts there. Do not, flood your news feed with different information, because there is a lot coming out at this moment. And we will be announcing any new rallies or gatherings, or ways you can help, calls for help.
And that's this Saturday at Daphne Park at 12 o'clock noon. And what location? Are we near the pavilion or
It's,
where
I
exactly?
believe, it's intersection of B Street and
Okay.
so
B
that,
Road. That's the B Road side.
yes,
Okay.
yes. This is Daphne Park on the corner of Victory Drive and B Road.
Okay. Good deal. Well, we will see you there. We'll be here this Saturday and be in attendance to provide support in any way we can. So, without further ado, we're going to end the show tonight and look forward to connecting with you again soon. At least Saturday, I'll see you.
Hopefully, we can celebrate the end of the war very soon.
I know. God bless. God bless. God bless.
Thank you, Kesha. It was
No
an honor.
problem. You take care, my friend. Thank you.
Like this.